Everyone, it's Essie here with a process video for Lottie Loves Paper using the Over the Rainbow kit, which was released in November, and I've chosen two of the papers. This first one is from Jamel's Head in the Clouds, and that beautiful ombre pink is from Paige Taylor Evans Whimsical. I've also got the sticker sheet and the enamel shapes from Whimsical as well. I've got those two little square photographs that I'm using on my layout, and I've just marked onto my cardstock where those photographs are going to be positioned. I'm using Basil Marshmallow cardstock because I want to add some mixed media. So I'm starting with some Cosmic Shimmer Misting inks, which I've had for a very, very long time. I won them in a competition and they've just kept going for ages. I've got 3 different colours. And as you see, as I work through adding the layers of colour, I do just sort of grab my patterned paper every now and again to have a look at the colour scheme. Oh, there you go, I'm doing it now, and just to see how I want my colours and my inks to lay as my background. So just using the packaging technique to add my colours down to my cardstock, coming in with some pretty purple there over the clover pink colour that I've added first of all. And I'm also going to come in with some Perfect Pearls Forever Blue, which is also a very old ink, just to add some bluish tones. You can't really see them that well on the video, but it does add just a bit of a blue tone to coordinate in with the papers and embellishments that I'm going to use. So just finishing off with a little extra more of the blue there. And I'm going to set that aside to dry. So now I've got my patterned papers here, and I only purchased the paper pack and the basic embellishment pack from Lottie Loves Paper this time, and so I don't have lots of ephemera or bits and pieces that go with the papers, so I'm going to make my own. I've got a heart template that I just cut by hand, and I'm cutting out a large heart from the floral paper from the Head in the Clouds range, and then I'm going to cut a tag from that beautiful pink ombre, and I'm going to position the tag sort of halfway up the paper so that I get an ombre effect on my tag. If I'd placed it at the top or the bottom, I'd have got more of a solid colour. Coming in with a third sheet of the patterned paper, and it's the beautiful little rainbow coloured hearts from Paige Taylor Evans Whimsical. It's got that lovely rainbow stripe on the back, but I'm going to use the little tiny hearts on the other side. So I've decided I want a bit more of a blush pinky tone in my background to coordinate with the tag that I've cut. So I've just got some Heidi Swapp Colour Shine in Coral, just to add a bit more of that tone to the background, and I'm adding some splatters in that colour, and then I'm also going to add some splatters in the navy as well. Once I've added those splatters, I'm going to add some extra detail on my background using some stamping. I've got a very old, much loved polka dot stamp there from Hero Arts, and just having a look at my ink colours to decide what colour I want to use. I end up going with black actually, but I love having that swatch colour book. It's just really handy, saves me getting all of my inks out and having a look and being able to coordinate the colours that I want to use without having to drag all of my inks out of their storage. So I've set that aside to dry, and I'm now moving on to embellish my tag. So I've got the Whimsical sticker sheet, and just starting off with those zigzag border stickers along the bottom of my tag shape. I've cut myself a 2-inch square piece of white basil cardstock to use as a panel on the in the middle of my tag, just to layer up some of the stickers on. So I'm just starting with that I craft therefore I am sticker, which I had already decided I wanted to sort of be the focal point of the tag. Decided now that I want to add a border in that dark patterned paper from Head in the Clouds. So I've trimmed my white piece down slightly, and I'm now going to add that to the patterned paper and trim that off so that I've got a little bit of a darker border around the edge. And then I shall start layering up my stickers. Before I do that, I'm going to add some stamping to that white panel. I've got some splatter and sort of coffee ring, I guess they are, stamps. I'm afraid I can't remember what brand the stamps are. I've had them for a very long time. And I'm just using my archival ink, and because these are quite strong colours, I'm stamping off first onto a piece of scrap paper so that actually I get the second stamping on my actual panel for my tag, so that it's a bit more of a muted colour, so it's not too strong in the background. I inked that one up again, but then decided we didn't want to use that one anymore, so I'm just inking the little rings there just to add in a little bit more detail. And that's my panel ready to put my stickers on, just deciding which way up I like it. I'm going to use that sentiment sticker and also that little paintbrush, but I decided I want a bit more definition to the sticker. Some of the stickers on this sheet have got a little white border around, and but this one hadn't, so I have added my own by just sticking it to a sheet of a piece of white cardstock and just fussy cutting around the sticker. I just like the look of that, having that extra edge around the sticker. So just popping it on a bit of foam there and sticking that panel down onto the tag. I'm going to use some of the smaller element stickers from the sticker sheet just on the top part of the tag. I think I go for some buttons and some push pins and a little star, I think, as well. I go for, not quite sure why I go for the yellow, because I've got no yellow anywhere else on the layout or papers, so I go for that mint green instead. Far better choice. I'm just punching a little hole in the top of my tag. I've got some of those hole reinforcer thingamy-dads, just get from a normal stationery store, and I'm just going to colour that with some of my ink, and once that's dry I can add that into my tag. So I decided I wanted to add some extra stamping to my background. This often happens with my backgrounds, they sort of evolve as I start sort of bringing in embellishments and other elements to my layout. I then go back and add more bits to my background so that it all coordinates in. So I've just added some of those splatters and rings to the background as well. And now I'm just layering my photographs onto some tissue paper. I love this look. Missy Whiddon does it a lot, and I just love how soft the layers look. Just adds a little bit something extra without anything too heavy or any more bright colours, but just sort of lifts the photos a little. So just adding the tissue paper. The Lottie Loves Paper kits always come beautifully wrapped in tissue paper, so I always have a supply of tissue paper to use on my layouts. Nothing's wasted. Just adding some foam, popping some wet glue onto the back there so that I can squidge them around a little to get them in the right place. And now I'm just going to, add that little ring to my tag and put some coordinating thread through the top. And I'm ready to start layering up my embellishments on my background. There we go. I was a bit worried when I sort of first started thinking about this layout as to whether I would actually have enough elements just using the papers and the sticker sheet, because I often have, you know, lots of packs of ephemera and stickers, and 6x6 paper pad I often use, and alphas and things. So I just wanted to kind of prove really to myself that it was possible to create a layout with lots of layers and details with just using the basic embellishment kit and the papers. So I'm now turning to my sticker sheet to have a think about what which of the stickers I want to use. Just having a play, like those books. And these photographs are of my mum on a day at my house crafting. They're actually from 2009, so they're fairly old photographs, and we've moved house since they were taken. But Mum and I try and get together and craft regularly. We haven't been able to lately. Things have been a bit tricky, with my dad being poorly. But we, have a craft day as often as we can, and really enjoy the time I spend crafting with my mum. And I just wanted to capture that on a layout in my scrapbook. So just using some of the sentiment stickers from the sticker sheet. There's just layering up. I've got a little strip of washi tape there, a washi tape sticker, and a little cloud. Just adding sort of 3 clusters onto the shapes that I've cut from the patterned paper. I'm sort of going for the triangle, which draws your eye around the photographs. Wanting something under that book sticker, not quite sure what I want to use. Think about using this word which says inspire or imagine, but it's a metallic gold and I haven't got any of that colour in the layout anywhere else. As is that create. I like the sticker, but I didn't want to start adding an extra colour or a metallic into the layout, because I would have had to have then rearranged the other clusters and added more in to coordinate, so I'd got some metallic in those as well. So I went with that mint green circle in the bottom there, and another word sticker over the top, and I'm just adding some little flower stickers into the clusters as well. So I'm just coming in with the enamel shapes from the Whimsical collection. There's some really pretty colours and shapes on this sticker sheet, so I'm just adding a shape and a dot into each of the embellishment clusters that I've got going on my page. And as I was doing these, I remembered that I had wanted to add some extra thread, just for some more texture on my layout. So I've got that bit of thread in the tag, obviously on the right hand side there. So I just choose a tealy blue embroidery thread, and you'll see in a moment I use some wet glue under the embellishment clusters to add in that thread for a little bit of texture, and I also add an enamel shape onto each loop of thread. And I then come in with my Nouveau drops, which you'll also see in a minute. And after I finished filming, I looked at my layout and thought that I wanted to add a border. I had my camera battery was just about run out, so I did this off camera, but you'll see in the still photograph at the end, I've just trimmed my layout down so that it's 11.5 by 11.5 inches and added a navy border by sticking it onto a 12 by 12 sheet of cardstock. So just coming in with my Nouveau drops to add some finishing touches, and that's my layout done. Thank you so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you here again soon. Bye for now.